Well, one of the biggest things about this show is exactly that. Is, we get into this time of despair where we start our purpose, but then something happens to come out victorious from that. So in your case, when you left and you were just chilling for those years and you were active and you were drinking and doing all that shit, what happened to get you out of that? And to get you out of that and to be like, you're one of the greatest artists in the world.
Still always kind of drew. I definitely.
It was always there.
And I definitely wrote on a lot of walls.
Yeah. Welcome to the telescope room, the one and only Dyse One.
What's good?
What's good, broski? Man, I'm really happy that you came out here and that you made it, bro.
Yep.
Getting Dyse out of the shop.
Oh, man.
Is unheard of.
Oh, it was rough. I was beating myself up all night. I'm like, damn, man, I can't go to the shop tomorrow.
Man, unless you've been living under a rock in this game, everybody knows who Dyse One is. You know what I'm saying? We go back a long, long, long time. We got a lot of things to talk about, but how about we go back to the beginning and tell everybody how Dyse One was born?
Man. I guess, I was born, and that was it. I was born many moons ago. And
we're timeless spirits. We're timeless spirits. Yeah, I always say that.
I mean, ever since I was probably, I want to say 6, is probably as far back as I can think and remember. I was probably around 6 or 7. 6 definitely. I've always been into art, I always liked to draw, and I have my older brother, and he used to like to draw a lot too. So we used to, mess around and draw and, little cartoons and stuff like that. And I want to say probably when I was about 8 or 9 is when I got kind of introduced to graffiti.
The graffiti world.
Yeah, the graffiti world in the I guess the kind of the gang culture in the graffiti world. So it was kind of, back then it was kind of colliding, there was both of it was going on, both of it was hell of active. This was 1980, let's say 1986.
86.
I mean, before that, of course I was into breakdancing. I was a big breaker.
Me
I was
too.
all into breaking.
Floor masters. Walking around with the tile and the cardboard.
Cardboard all day, posting up.
Yeah, Seaport Village, the Juice Crew. that was active.
Oh, yeah.
That was active. The other day I went to Seaport and I was telling my daughter, like, you have no idea. There was thousands of people here. Oh, yeah. That was
from all over.
Oh
man, College Grove back in the day.
Yeah, remember when breaking came out and all that? Beat Street, like that was, and the graffiti was a huge part of that.
Yeah, in San Diego, it was quiet. Back in the '80s, in the early '80s, mid '80s, it was still
everything
quiet.
was LA.
It was
and the East Coast.
East Coast,
Yeah, the East Coast.
And but I mean, we started when I was probably one of the youngest graffiti artists that came out of San Diego at the time, one of them. And there was only a handful of graffiti artists in all of San Diego.
Yeah, for sure.
We all knew each other. Everybody knew each other.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, what kind of environment, like, how the gang culture, it was very rare when we all fuck with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, for you guys, when you were doing your graffiti, because, you got ties to everybody. So how was it with other graffiti artists? Did you have it?
Back then,
it was all love.
Oh, it was love.
There was no hate.
Nah, back in them days, it was love. I mean, yeah, later on, as time went by, in tag banging, I guess they call it, and all that. But yeah, then it was drama. By that time, it's like, a little bit of that, and then after that, it's like shit, start gang banging.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I gonna be in a graffiti crew with some little graffiti dudes and we're getting shot at? We're shooting, we're getting shot at, we're getting jumped. It's going down. It's like, screw this shit. I'll join the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm cool. Fuck that.
Okay, now when you jumped into that scene, you've always had a lot of respect from the whole city. You know what I'm saying? Every neighborhood.
It's a trip because I don't know. I guess I don't know. In some cases, different. I don't know. I mean, if I meet you and I get along with you and
it didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't matter.
Like we're cool.
You
good. Respect me, I respect you.
And
you
that
know
was
who
that.
I am. I know who you are. We're from here. You're from there. Nothing mattered, you know.
Yeah.
And then I grew up in so many different parts of San Diego.
Borderlines of the neighborhoods too.
And growing up, I mean, my mom was single. You know, she was single mom of 2, and I mean, we probably moved every 6 months to a year. Right. We were having to get up and move. You know.
Yeah. Different neighborhoods, wherever we could find something that she could afford at the time. Yeah. Same with me. Like when we left Sherman, we went to East Side, but there was no problems.
Yeah.
Like I knew all the homies from East Side. I knew all the homies from down the way. So like you said, when we were growing up, we would all run into each other. There was never really a issue. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
But I mean, it was, you know, it was a trip, you know, and of course going from graffiti. I mean, I did graffiti for a long time. I mean, in younger years, I mean, from when I was like 13, 14, I mean, I was already traveling. I was already going to LA. I was going out of town. I was going out of state, going to graffiti events in other states.
When you were 14?
When I was 14, 15 years old, man. And by the time I was 15, I mean, I was, you know, painting everywhere. You know?
So was there like some, you know, like for music, like for us, it was like, well, this is what we got to do in order for us to get here. Like, did you have to like connect dots with other artists to be able to show up and do certain things?
Back then, I mean, we would just show up.
Just backpack it and let's bounce.
Backpack it, let's bounce.
Damn. Was there any rivalries when you was go to another city?
I mean, I guess LA was probably the one that was the most sketchy.
Because there was no internet.
There was no internet.
To be like, hey, I'm coming through.
Oh, I pen pals.
You just show up.
Pen pal homies. You know, I had pen pals and graffiti artists in other states. And
crazy. So you guys would pen pal each other.
Pal, send each other flicks. Send flicks. Oh, I just painted this one. Oh, I just did this one. You know, sending flicks back. You know, occasionally fools from different states would come out, and my house was kind of in San Diego. I mean, everybody went to my house,
right?
You know?
Right.
And so I'd always have cats from other states, you know, spending, you know, a weekend or a week at the pad, and we would just, you know, go out and paint for like a week straight, every day, all day, just paint.
Did you guys ever get hemmed up by the Posey?
Oh, I mean, always, yeah.
So they would just pull up on you.
Pull up, you know.
So is that like a law now? Like, or was there a law back then?
Oh yeah, I mean,
like you're gonna go to jail for doing
vandalism.
This shit.
Oh yeah,
vandalism.
Yeah, vandalism, straight up.
Crazy. Yeah. So you went to jail a few times for vandalism. Yeah. If you're a graffiti artist and you didn't go to jail for vandalism, you're not a graffiti.
I mean, or you were. I don't know, or you weren't out there
doing it,
risking yourself, running on freeways and doing all that.
You know? What about your first time in the East Coast as Dyse, doing graffiti? Was that like crazy to you, like to go over there?
No, I mean I've been around the world, you know. I've been.
But before like the.
I mean, I would say that. Never really went to in my younger years. I never got a chance to go to the East Coast and do that. I mean, I was young.
Is it something that you wanted to do?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it was like big out there.
As I got older, and I got a chance to go to New York. Yeah, it was dope. You know, hell yeah. I couldn't wait. When I got my chance to go to New York, I was like, shit, I'm there. And I got to go there for like a week, 2 weeks to work.
And did you have other artists that you linked up with when you got over there?
I just went out there and just roamed around.
Just roamed around. Same with me. I got on I went to the Bronx. I was up and down. Like the culture there it's dope, but it's dope. Different. Yeah, it's a lot different than.
I mean, when I was out there, I had a lot of work. So I mean, I was really out there clothing and working with. That was like the center point for dealing with the factories overseas. It was either go to New York and work in the office in New York, freaking all day, all night, getting all your stuff done, or go to India or Pakistan or wherever the hell, whatever factory we were working with at the time, you know, and it was like, yeah, I'll go to New York, man. I'm kind of cool on going that far, you know.
Yeah.
I don't really need to go to India right now.
Yeah.
I'm cool, man.
So where does the name Dyse One come from?
You know what? It's something I just kind of put together when I was young. Everybody had names, you know. Everybody had little tagger names or whatever. And one of my other friends, he came up with his little name, and he put he wrote like 2 letters down 2 sides of a paper, you know, like 2 letters, boom, 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 whatever, random letters, and on 2 pieces of paper. So there were, when you put them together, there'd be 4 letters.
Right.
And that was pretty much what I did. So I did that, and I put them together, and I went down the whole paper just to kind of see what 4 letters looked kind of cool together.
Right.
It made sense. And those were the 2. Those were the 4. But back in the days when it first started, it was with a Z, not an S.
Oh, okay.
So it was a DY and then a ZE on the other paper.
And it still had the 1?
And I always put the 1. Yeah.
Dyse One.
Yeah.
Dope.
So as time went on, I mean, I changed it. I like the S better than Z.
Yeah.
I do the S and the E for Southeast.
Yeah, I love.
As I got older, it just made more sense. It just.
But you're super clever like that. Like I would have never thought of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at what point did you say, like, I'm gonna start my clothes? Like I'm gonna put my art on clothes?
You know what I want to say? The first time I put a graphic on a T-shirt was, I want to say 88 or 89.
Oh, okay.
We did a little graffiti show, and me and the homie designed the little artwork for it, and we wanted to print shirts, and we knew this dude who had a little silkscreen shop in his garage and all this, and he made shirts, and we were like, dude, how can you take this little flyer that we just did
and put it on a T-shirt?
Put it on a T-shirt? And he was like, oh yeah, we can do that. And he went about all the little steps. Back in the days, it was way different than what it is now.
Yeah.
And
but it was a big deal.
Oh, it was a
huge fucking deal.
I mean, up to a few years. I mean, up to they got all these DTG machines. I mean, making T-shirts it's a lot of work. I mean, which was cool because it kind of filtered out anybody from just randomly making and bootlegging and copying and anything else. So. But yeah, he was like, "Yeah, we can do it," and we did it. We made little shirts.
You and somebody else.
Who did the flyer? Me and this dude, Eric. Me and this dude, Eric. He did some characters, and I did some letters, and it was for this little graffiti thing that we had going on in San Diego. And first time my shit was ever on a T-shirt.
So that was the first garment,
and I was like, "Damn, that looks kind of." I think ever since then, it was kind of just like,
"Let me do something else."
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Oh, okay. So that's where the spark was born.
I mean, before that, of course, in the early 80s, like shit, I want to say like 86, 87, 88, I was doing a lot of Levi jackets.
Oh, okay.
Remember the old painting?
Yeah,
I was doing those, dude. Like that's where it all really started, because I was doing those, dude. I would have piles of them, man.
So I
was painting those for like $20 a piece.
Okay,
for kids at school. I was hustling.
What about the diligence for that? Like you had to find where to get the jackets.
Oh, I would just have them supply them, and then I would paint them for like $20.
Oh, okay. So they would bring them and be like, "This is what I want."
Yeah, their parents would go buy them a Levi jacket,
and then they come like, "Hey, can you do this?
Give me $20." I'd take it back and give me a couple weeks, and
here you go.
Paint it up real quick, and boom, here you go. And I was doing that, man, all day. I was doing that from elementary all through junior high.
So you had money in your pocket off your art since very young.
Yeah. That's all I've ever had really was art,
Dope. So after you did the T-shirt and after you kind of decided that that's what you wanted to do, how did you step it up another notch?
Next notch after that was kind of like the beginning in the first beginning stages of, like, say, streetwear, so to say. Streetwear was barely. It was just
evolving.
It was barely coming
kicking off.
Yeah, it was barely being. There was a few companies out there that were starting up, and I mean, I have to. I was blessed to be around at the time, and I was blessed to become probably one of the first, streetwear artist dudes, that was designing for different companies. And
that's what you started doing at first. You started doing art for other companies.
Did a couple designs for a few companies, and
Tribal was one of them.
Tribal was one of them. In fact, I did probably Tribal's first graffiti type design, the very first graffiti one. It was a tribal piece with a little spray can for the eye, and I did some little lettering for the left chest pocket. And
you were doing good doing that.
I was doing that. I mean, I was a kid, though.
You were how old were you at this time? 18, 17?
I was in high school, so yeah, like 16, maybe 15, 16.
And you were doing art for companies that were already out.
Yeah.
So you see like dudes twice our age rocking your shit.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And then from there, I would do a couple designs for myself. I mean, I learned, I met printers and stuff already.
Yeah,
so
so you're like, okay, let me do this.
So I would do little designs on the side. And I remember at one time I did a little line. It was called Dyse Clothes. And I had little.
That's what it was first.
That's what it was. I had little hats. I had little Dyse Clothes hats. And I still got some of the original artwork files and hidden away.
Did you ever get any of your stuff made and take it back to school and sell your shit at school?
From time to time, you know.
But not like...
I mean, back then I was already like hustling stores, you know. I was already finding stores to put my shit in. I was already doing consignment, you know.
Yeah, the whole consignment. Like we would drop CDs off. You were dropping shirts off.
Dropping shirts off and coming back
in the same stores.
Yeah, coming back in a couple weeks.
Spin off.
Hey,
remember spin off?
Oh yeah. Hey, did you guys sell any?
Yeah. We'd be calling.
Sell?
Did anything sell?
Can I pick anything up? Yeah, he sold a couple shirts. All right, great. Fuck. I mean, like I'm saying, you're a kid, you know. You're like shit. You're making money off of art, and then at that time, I remember I went to like a Mecha project up at San Diego State. And
Mecha project. Wow, yeah, I remember that.
And I was walking through, and we just had this conversation beforehand. I was walking through, and here's some dude in the crowd, man. I walked by this dude, and he's mad dogging me. But the funny, he's wearing
your shirt,
wearing a Dyse Clothes shirt. And it's funny, he's just mad dogging me. And I'm like walking by, and I'm just looking at him
like thank you.
Yeah, like damn. Fool.
That's happened to me. I mean, a few times. I mean, one time I was in Vegas, and I see like 4 or 5 big old dudes. I'm just walking by, and they're mean mugging, and they're all wearing your shirt. They're all wearing a different design of your shirt, and I'm like, that's my dude, you know what I'm saying? Another time, I'm like in the middle of nowhere, bro. I'm like in Utah. So I had to like pull out. I wanted to go get something to wear real quick. So I go into the Ross over there, and there you are. Yeah. Hats.
Everything.
Shirts. Socks.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So, bro, when you stepped it up after high school, how did that come about? Like when you weren't in school no more, when no one was bringing you jackets anymore, like by that time you had already done the diligence and you knew printers, you had your designs, you had a bunch of other stuff. So what did you do after high school to take it to the next notch?
After high school, it was me and my brother, we and my mom, we started a company called Ruin. And, that's when we started doing. We did a couple trade shows. Trade shows were in, so you know.
Ruin was cracking.
Ruin was cracking for a while.
Everybody in San Diego was.
Oh yeah, shit everywhere.
That. How did you expand?
Trade shows, bro.
The trade shows
and footwork. You have to again. We go back to there was no internet. So I mean, you couldn't just post your shit on Instagram and be like, "Oh shit, cool, I got followed." Shit. Yeah. There wasn't none of that. So I mean, we were doing magazine ads.
Whoever was following you then was followers for real.
They were following you.
They were for real following you.
They were searching for you. There wasn't. They couldn't go. They'd have to go to find it at their local mom and pop store. And in order to get the local mom and pop store, we did a lot of magazine ads. You had to travel. I mean, we would load up the car. We would get a truck.
All the Southwest.
Yeah.
At first.
Load up the truck.
And let's go.
And just take whatever product we got and jump in the car, go to LA, go hit Fairfax, go hit all them, Melrose, go hit all, and just drive up and down and walk in the shops and be like, yo, what's up, man? I got these shirts, And
what would you do? Like universal, neutral, designs?
Designs back then, I did a lot of graffiti. Started off with a lot of graffiti type
designs. Yeah. Which was popular
back then. I mean, loud colors, orange shirts, freaking yellow shirts, green shirts, bright ass colors,
So by this time, you already knew where to go get your shirts.
Oh yeah,
the quality of the shirts,
had a printer,
the printer, the whole shit.
Yeah.
So you would just.
And
go.
I was working at the printer. I started working at a silkscreen shop. That was probably one of my
first jobs.
One of my first gigs, man.
After high school.
Yep. Back when I was still in high school.
All right. So you guys start the company. You load up the truck. The word of mouth goes.
Yep.
Everybody knows. Dyse One clothing.
Back then, Ruin.
Oh, Ruin. Okay. Yep. So how did it go from Ruin to Dyse One?
Long stories. Let me see. Me and my mom and my brother, business partners, we didn't last. As anybody knows, business, you gotta invest.
Yeah.
You're talking to a 15-year-old kid that don't want to invest,
Right.
I was the bad seed,
Right.
So I slacked off on that. I started doing. I'm like, why am I gonna do this? I can go do 2 designs for these other companies. Right, I could get me like $1,000.
That's the mentality of a youngster.
You know how am I? You know how long it's gonna take me before I get $1,500 from you guys? Like,
yeah.
So I mean, I lost interest in it, and cost probably my mom and my brother a gang of money, and you know I slacked off, and it dropped, and later on in life.
How long after?
90, probably about 5 or 6 years
later. So Ruin just kind of stayed circulating for a long time.
It kind of died.
It kind of died out. You were just chilling.
I was chilling. That's when I started getting. I got a little older, and I started hanging out. You know,
right. The gang shit,
fucking drugs, alcohol, and just kind of went that route.
You were starving your purpose.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit about nothing no more. You know, when I needed money, I do a couple graphics for a couple companies, make a few $100, and you know, pick up some gear from them, and you know, go about my day. You know.
Well, you know, one of the biggest things about this show is exactly that. Is, you know, we get into this time of despair where we start our purpose, but then something happens to come out victorious from that. So in your case, when you left and you were just chilling for those years and you were active and you were drinking and doing all that shit. What happened to get you out of that? And to get you out of that and to be like, you're one of the greatest, artists in the world.
Still always kind of drew. You know, I definitely.
It was always there.
And I definitely wrote on a lot of walls. Yeah. I mean, even through that time. Oh, yeah, through that time.
You're like, fuck it.
You know, yeah.
So you really didn't leave the purpose. I
didn't leave the purpose.
Yeah,
I just kind of put it in the back for a little. I just put it to the side. You know?
Like, all right, but I'm gonna go do this.
I'll be back. I'm over here. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do this for a little while. You know,
right?
And later after a while, you know, I was still doing things, and one of my homies, he hit me up and he was like, "Damn, fool, why don't you
get your shit?
Get your shit. You know, why don't you do something? You know, I got a little bit of chips. You know, let's do something, man. You know, let's do something." And I was like, "Yeah, let me check it out." You know, so I went back and I drew a couple things, and I was always still close and affiliated with clothing companies. You know, throughout all them years, that's how I made money. That's how I made all my money. You know, I still worked for. Of course, I always did stuff for Tribal back in them days.
Even through that time,
I was, like I said, I would still do a graphic here and there, and just to make some money. Another company I worked with a lot for a lot of years was Rolling Hard.
Oh, okay.
And they did all the lowrider, you know, all them shirts, the lowriders. They did the Aztec Dreams, and I was behind almost probably 90% of that lettering. So I was doing lettering for all that shit, and in that I was working really close with Tony and them from that company, and I learned a lot from them. You know, learned a lot, and that probably helped spark, you know, some shit like
where you were like, man, I could do something.
Get back into this.
I could get back into this. Like, this shit ain't serving me no fucking purpose.
And then when my homie hit me up, I went with it. You know, I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And like I said, I did a couple, and I think I did a San Diego design. Right. And I printed, you know, a few dozen shirts, and I sold those quick.
Like
those
that.
Sales were gone. You know, I sold them to all the homies, sold them to everybody around me, and they were gone.
There's nobody that I know in our city that wasn't supporting you, though.
And I don't think I even got a chance to even put any of those in a store. In the store. I sold them. And so I was like, fuck. So I went back and I made some more, you know, and I sold them. I still knew all of my embroidery people, and to this day, I still use the same people, my same people that I use from way. That's important, back in the days, bro. And
it's like me with Steve Vicious.
Yeah,
I still fuck with Steve Vicious on the production side.
No, I know.
You know, man.
Yeah, they're still there, and I still use them to this day. So even through all that, I went back. I got this design. You know, can we get some embroidery? Can I get some hats? And Dyse, you know, don't trip. Yeah, and man, got some hats done. And
it started.
Moved on to other things, and next thing you know, boom, I'm in Miller's Outpost. Boom, I'm here.
Miller's Outpost. Yeah. Wow, the 501 spot.
501 spot, man. Shit, the anchor, their jeans, man. You go in there with like what, $40, walk out with a brand new pair of jeans, a button. Hey, you ready to hit TJ? Hey, you're ready to hit TJ. You got your whole TJ outfit.
Yep. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so let me ask you this. So your boy comes through.
Yep.
He's like, "Hey, dog, you gotta wake up. We gotta go fucking do this."
Like I said, I still knew everybody. I still knew everybody. So I still had, dude. I was in Mr. Rag. There was a store, Mr. Rags. I was in Mr. Rags. I was in Miller's Outpost, which became Anchor Blue. I was still working with Rolling Hard, which was super tight with Anchor Blue. I was doing all the Anchor Blue stuff for him. So I was already doing all the Anchor Blue stuff. So now I got stuff in Anchor Blue, and it just kept going. And next thing you know, I'm like, damn, here I am.
So what happened in your personal life where you're like, you know what, fuck this. Let me go fucking make sure
a little bit
as far as the dope and the alcohol and all that.
But you're still hitting the clubs. You're still getting back in. Back in them days, surrounded with homies. You know.
Yeah. That was so at that time, that was like the prime.
That was like the prime.
Prime time.
Prime. I mean,
clubs, everyone rocking your shit.
Warehouse, LA's popping, got LA pop. I was doing so much LA stuff. I was practically living up in LA because I was there so much.
So when you got to that point where you're like, okay, cool, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. This is what I'm gonna do for a living.
I mean, that's all I had.
That's all you had.
I mean, I worked a couple jobs my life, a couple regular jobs, and I think I AWOL'd from all of them,
yeah.
I worked at the shipyard for a little while, and I AWOL'd from that,
I'm
man.
cool on this shit.
I can't do this.
I'm cool on all this shit.
But you know what? Out of that job, though, that I worked, I got to paint a U.S. Navy carrier twice.
Oh, bro, that's a huge accomplishment.
It was huge, bro. That was probably one of the. I mean, I've done a couple good accomplishments in my life. So even through all the bullshit, I was still throw in a couple.
I did that shit.
So I mean, I painted the USS Petaloo twice. I painted that shit twice.
That's a huge accomplishment. Not anybody can say that.
Who fucking goes and paints graffiti on a fucking Navy ship?
Yeah, that's insane.
Me, I did that. I did that. I won an Emmy for creative. Me and a group of us, we won an Emmy for Fox for creative commercials. Back in the days, we painted a bunch of commercials. We graffitied. Back in the days, what was it? Cheers, Arsenio Hall.
Those are great accomplishments. That shit is dope.
We got to go and we all won an Emmy. I had an Emmy. Unfortunately, I was young and stupid, and I don't even know what the fuck happened to my Emmy.
You still got the moment, though.
I got the moment.
You got the moment.
I think there's some pictures out there floating around. I think I was in my Miller's Outpost outfit too.
The 501s.
Yeah, 501s and a little button shirt.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, how did you get distribution? Like, how did you get distribution for you to send your stuff out to stores? Not even all over the country, all over the world.
Yeah.
Like, how did you go from your homie telling you one day, "Hey, bro, we got to get up and we got to do this," to being a brand that is in stores all over the world? How did that happen?
Some of them I had just from the
relationships from before. You just picked up the phone
and dropped some, showed them some shit, and they're like, "Oh, hell yeah." And then other ones, I mean, we had to go out and start doing trade shows,
trade shows.
Go out and do magic. We do ASR. Vegas, yep. ASR was in San Diego at the time. Then they moved to Long Beach, and we would just go do trade shows, man,
and get it out.
Get it out there, and go to Vegas for a week and set up a booth and post up.
Even artists. I know you've done a lot of stuff for artists. I mean,
I work with everybody.
Bro, like there's not one,
which is a trip because when I'm young, I'm like, shit, like, dude, I'm listening to these cats and I'm like, damn, who'd ever thought I'd become good friends with them? We be sitting here bullshitting,
Yeah, like me and you go back fucking elementary.
Elementary shit. I still got a cassette, man. I still got a cassette.
The Sherman raps. The Sherman raps.
Yep.
Man,
squeaky voice, a little squeaky.
Sound like a squirrel.
Went from a little squeaky voice. I don't even know if anybody. I don't even know if those are on YouTube, man. Somebody need to YouTube those, man.
Man, dog. But look, I mean, it's good for us to be able to sit here now. Almost 30-something years later.
Shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit, probably almost 40.
Yeah, and be here and being able to feed our purpose, support our family, raise our kids, and continue.
And to try to put a good positive note out there to kids that, yo, man, there's something you can do with yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you. What would you say to a youngster right now in this era? Because we lived in an era that's never gonna be again.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So now that it's this era, like even just musically for artists, it's a completely different battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, before it was like we went to the stores, opened up the CD, we saw who produced what. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. So now that there's it's congested. Yeah. What would you say to an up and coming youngster that is passionate about his graffiti?
I recently, like what it was, probably right before COVID, maybe a year and a half ago, I painted. It was another accomplishment. I got to paint a permanent wall inside Juvenile Hall.
Oh, wow.
So I got a wall running inside Juvenile Hall down in San Diego in the East Mesa.
Wow, that's crazy. How did that feel?
Oh, that was dope, man. It was. I'm
really sure every youngster in there.
I mean, they pulled out like 10 kids. So they pulled out 10 kids. 10 of them, some were really bad. Some were gonna do life. Some were gonna be there for a little bit, and then they were gonna get transferred to the Pinta, and they were gone for life. For murder. Yeah. And I mean, others were gonna get out soon, but they pulled out 10 kids, and they gave me 10 kids for the day. And I painted this wall right in the yard, and had these 10 kids out.
What did it say?
I did a San Diego.
A San Diego one?
I did something, and they asked me, they're like, what should you do? And I was like, I'm going to do a San Diego. Whenever I paint something someplace, I'm like, I'm going to paint a San Diego. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because everybody can respect it, and they can enjoy it, especially these kids. They can enjoy it. You got kids in here from everywhere, from every neighborhood, from everything. They can respect that. On my building at my shop, I got San Diego. That shit.
Which has become... a landmark. A landmark. It's a landmark now.
Dude, I was there.
There's people all over the internet taking pictures.
Every day I'm there, and I walk outside, and there's always...
They don't even know you're right. Yeah. They have no idea.
And there's a photo shoot going on all the time.
Video shoot.
Photo everything. And I walk out, I'm like, oh, it's cracking. You guys want me to be in the picture? You don't even know who the fuck I am.
Crazy.
And... So I did a San Diego, and it was cool though. But I got to talk to them kids, and I got to like try to, let them give them my story, and tell them, hey man, it doesn't matter, you can be. There's a lot of shit out there for you to do, and they're like, but I'm not, I'm just not that good. I'm not that good of an artist, and I'm like, what, art is a lot more than what you see right here. Everything is an art form, bro. You can be, as long as you got a creative mind, man. Everything is an art form. You guys don't look at it that way. I look at it that way. I'm an artist. I look at everything. I look at, I'm like, dude, I look at these lights, and I'm like, somebody had to design that shit.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Everything. I tell them, hey, landscaping, bro. Landscaping is a fucking art form. Like, it's to cut grass. Dude, if I were to go try to cut some grass, I'd probably burn the shit out of it. Probably screw it all up.
Yeah.
To chop
but it's
up,
an art form.
To arrange plants and to do all that, to make, to lay the rock and I mean, all
to organize the store is art.
Organize them. To organize a store. I mean, everything. You look at all kinds of different shit. Everything's like an art form.
That's true.
You got to go about it. It's an artistic mindset. You got to go about it. It's just a mindset. It's not really,
I just think sometimes, the outside world, you know what I'm saying, that makes us starve our purpose.
Yeah.
Dominates the ambition to be great. But that's what I'm saying. Like somebody like you, they look at you with different eyes and they listen with different ears, because that's what it's come to. Because if they can't relate to the person on a personal level, they really don't take the advice for what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you come from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You gangbang. You were active. You know what I'm saying? And you made something great out of it. You know what I'm saying? And even the culture back then to the culture now, you got youngsters right now that are, skaters, that are artists, all rocking your shit.
Yeah. And you don't even know, nowadays you can't even tell, you don't know who's who out there.
Who's who, yeah.
Kids is walking up you with a skateboard and long hair and bang the fuck out.
Bang the fuck out.
You're like, whoa, shit. Back in the days, man, my homies used to beat our asses. We show up to the fucking spot fucked up clothes and weren't creased up. Oh man, we get our ass beat and get sent home like a little fucking kid. Man, you better go home and fucking change your motherfucking uniform before you step out here looking like that. Disrespecting our neighborhood. Fool.
You better
looking
come
like
with
a
the Ben
slob.
Davis
and
the white T-shirt and the fucking Blade One.
Looking like a slob. Shit.
Man, so how was it for your family, like to adapt to the life of Dyse One when you had to hit the road like an artist? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't live.
It's rough, you know, like anything. It's rough, bro.
Yeah.
It's usually
same thing like an artist.
Yeah, it's rough. You know, I've done tours. You know, I've gone to Europe for weeks at a time and traveled.
What'd that feel like?
I mean,
for someone to book you,
it's dope, man. And you're one day here, one day there. You're here. Oh fuck, we're only gonna be in this country for a few hours, and we gotta visit this, and this store, and then we gotta get on a speed train, and we gotta go down to this country, and we're gonna be here for 2 days, and we gotta do this, and this, and it's like shit. You're just nonstop on the go, traveling. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, can I go paint a wall? Yeah, sure. Fuck it. We'll let you go paint a wall here. Hook me up with some neighborhood kids, fucking take me out in the middle of nowhere and fucking in some projects and paint some graffiti and shit.
Wow.
Go back to the city, continue my little shit, get back on a train and, go over here, catch a plane to go fucking over here. It's like, dude, you're just nonstop.
And while you're doing that, your clothes are selling all over the world.
Selling. I'm really over there in stores and doing in stores and just appearances and checking stores and, having meetings with people. Because, I mean, our styles are different. When you go to Europe, they're selling different shit than we sell here.
Right.
So you in order to keep that shit alive over there, you gotta go feed. You gotta go feed and see what they got going on.
Right.
What's hot, what's popping, what's their trends out there right now. You got to do all that. Otherwise, if you're just thinking like, oh, I like this shirt, this is what I'm printing. This is what I'm gonna do. They don't always like that shit over there.
Right, right. So this is an expansion of your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Where you had to go visit the culture over there.
You got to design
and come
shit
back and design for the culture for over there. Wow.
Which ain't going to sell over here. But it'll sell over there.
It's like Flossie the Boss. He'd be like, I need a song like this. He'd be selling it in Germany.
Yeah.
Give me some fat loot.
Yeah. Shit. So yeah, I mean, I've been everywhere, man. I've been to Asia. I've been to Europe. I mean, I've been all over the fucking place.
And how did you get to the point where people you're making a living off your art?
Yeah.
So how did you get to the point where George Lopez and these people that are A1 actors and that are in the game reaching out to you?
People just reach out. They reach out, and I mean, I've always tried to.
Make yourself available.
I've always tried to make myself available, and I've always tried to be really professional about things.
Yeah,
I'm not some young punk fucking artist that's like, if you hire me to do a job for you, and I got a pretty good track, record,
yeah, for sure,
I get the
job done. Quality,
and I give it to
quality.
You. It's done, and I try to do that, I try to give everything 100, 113%.
You sure do, man. I think that's one of the things. Can't
hold back on nothing,
That's one of the things, like in my opinion, that I
do a street where I cater to the homies, and everybody, and it's like,
but you keep it clean.
I try to keep it clean and classy, but hood at the same time, and affordable. I'm not trying to be fucking rich off of people, man. I'm just trying to give just trying to give people something nice to wear.
But but it's quality.
I produce the same quality as everybody else, and I sell it for a little bit less, just so people can afford. Just like when I do paintings, people are like, "Fool, how much you sell that painting for?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I sold it for this." Dude, you should be selling it for that. Why?
Yeah.
And that dude loves my work. If I would
support you forever.
If I'd have sold it for more, he probably wouldn't have been able to afford he wouldn't have it hanging in his freaking living room right now.
That's dope. They say, bro, the real gift is giving, bro, not receiving.
As long as it covers my materials and my time, and I'm cool, man. It pays my bill, and I got my bills paid. I'm cool, man.
Like they say, you get paid to do what you love to do. You never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is one of the things that I admire about all your material is it's high quality, super high quality. You know what I'm saying? Like from the T-shirt to the design, you could wash it 1,000 times and it's still there.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what's been.
It's the same. I've been using the same people all these years, man. I use the same. I mean, now we switched up. We use pretty much the same T-shirt, just a different relative of the family, I guess, who, you know, branched off. But same T-shirt, same embroiderer, same factory, same jean, you know, same denim. Denim is back. My denim's back. Denim's fucking great, man. Denim.
I need some windbreakers.
Dude, I've been trying to do windbreaker. I've never really done a windbreaker.
We need a windbreaker.
Trying to do a windbreaker for you. Back in the days, I was gonna do like 3 windbreakers. I sent out to get samples made, and I don't know whatever happened. I don't know. Something happened. Never did a windbreaker. Done jackets though. I've done a gang of jackets.
Shades.
Nice. Sunglasses
Shades,
for days, man.
Hats.
Everything. Shoes.
Done
it all.
The whole get down. So what's going on in the world of Dyse One right now? What's new?
Same shit. Designing clothes. Like I said, new denim, sunglasses, all that. Lately, I've been on this painting trip. So about a month and a half ago.
At your shop?
At my shop. I started, a month and a half ago. I had some canvases laying around, and I painted one, and I posted it on Instagram, and it sold like in seconds. And I was like, huh. Had another one.
Did another one.
Posted on Instagram. Sold in seconds. I was like, huh. All right. And for the last like month and a half, man, I've been just knocking out canvases left and right.
Well, man, I think that it's an absolute blessing, you know what I mean, that you've been doing this for so long, that you've been standing tall, that people still, from our generation to the new generation, rock your shit.
Yep.
You know, what about young taggers? Do they reach out to you?
Sometimes.
Like up and coming dudes, like, hey, what do you think about this?
Sometimes.
Like rappers hit us up, you know, like, hey, what do you think about this song?
I get that sometimes.
You get that sometimes? No, nobody under your wing that you're trying to.
Nah.
I
just flow. I just go to the shop and just
go do your shit. I
just do my shit. Whoever comes and hangs out during the day when I'm there, I got a couple homies, good homies that come and post up and motivate me, and they're good at other shit, which fucking is motivating.
Yeah, like you're into the car scene, to a little bit of everything and you're in the middle of the hood.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And everybody shows up.
Oh, they all show up from everywhere. And I still to this day, I still get homies from everywhere. I get homies from all neighborhoods.
Yeah, well, it's a different time too,
and it's all love,
Yeah.
It's cool, but again, we're all older now, so it's still us,
Yeah,
so
but remember, like you're respected all over the world. Even the young generation absolutely respects you, bro. I still see youngsters rocking your shit to this day.
I still make it.
I see them though, whether it's a hat, a shirt, they still rocking your shit. It's like the generations, like the music.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get asked for autograph from a kid that wasn't even born when Once in a Decade came out.
Yep.
But man,
it's crazy because that we look at that and you see these kids nowadays and you're like, damn, you weren't even born.
You weren't even born.
It's like, damn, you weren't even born yet. Like, damn. Shit, my kids, damn, they weren't even, I was already doing clothes and doing all that. Damn, these kids weren't even born yet.
Yeah, my daughter still tells me, like, when you going to take me to Dyse's? So I've been telling her, I'll take you. The other day she sent me a picture. I guess she ordered it from your But man, I appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, man.
It was very important to me. We're obviously brothers and we go back a long time, but your story, bro, like Dyse, a super legend in the game. I admire you, broski. Respect you, love you, man. Thank you for coming through. And
next time you gotta come down to the shop and get some live paintings, some action.
I'll be at your shop this week. What about tattoos?
Oh man, don't ask,
bro. People have no idea you're just as talented. With the ink.
I can only do so much. Man, I got 2 hands, bro. Shit.
Bro. We got to get
it. Man, I'm painting canvases. I want a tattoo again.
I'm going to show up to the shop and just be like, pull out the ink. Let's get to work.
It's like, shit, I want to do it all. I wish I could clone myself a couple times. I could just do it all. I could just get everything done,
Well, if there's one thing for sure is that there's only one Dyse One. There'll never be another Dyse One, broski. So, I applaud you. I salute you, my bro. And thank you for making the trip and coming to see me, dog.
For sure.
Thank you, broski. Respect, bro.
Respect, homie. Always. family. We out.